presence today a woman who is an internationally renowned bridal stylist. She is also the star and creator of the Brides of Beverly Hills, as well as spending the last 30 years as an expert in the field of brides and bridal business. Having owned a store, she knows the retailer's challenges. Having been a producer of events, she knows the ropes of events. And we are so lucky to be able to get that information today. And she's going to share with you tips, ways to do things, how to get people in your store, how to make money, and how to have fun while you're doing it all. Please join me in welcoming Renee Stroud.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you took your time this morning to come and spend it with us. And I really do hope that you leave with practical tips and great information and enough inspiration that when you get back to your doors, in your stores, that you really can implement wonderful new ideas. So that's really the goal that I have for you this morning. And I want to share that it's so great for me to be speaking with fellow retailers because, excuse me, so often I'm invited to speak at conventions that have wedding industry related vendors like photographers, etc. Or I speak to brides, or I just make appearances at trade shows. But for me to actually be able to spend time and speak with retailers, I mean, it's like we all say to each other, what do you do? Oh, we're in retail. You know, it's in my blood. It's in my blood, too. I founded and built the premier luxury bridal salon in Beverly Hills, and I ran it for 32 years. And my finale out of retail was the opportunity I had to star in my own television show, Brides of Beverly Hills, as Susan mentioned. And it was an amazing journey and a wonderful experience. And when people say to me, do you miss retail? You know, I have to admit that I mean, it depended on which customer came through the door. But in the long run, I do miss the early mornings when I used to get there first and open the store and it was quiet. And I would turn on the lights and I could walk through the store and know that this is something that I had put my heart and soul in all these years. And all the independent items that were hanging were things that I chose myself. And it was a heartfelt endeavor. And the success, or God forbid failure, was in my hands. And it was during those quiet times that I had the real inspiration come to me about how I wanted to make things better or what unique offering I wanted to present to my public, etc., etc. And it was through those quiet times that I really realized how important relationships are. In fact, they're so important that they're really everything. I'll bring it even down to this morning. Susan Thoen, whom I've known for several years, whom I have actually not done business with out of her showroom, but we developed a relationship over time when I would come to the mart and I would stop in and I would say hello. We developed a relationship that when it came time to doing something wonderful and unique for the mart, she thought of me and invited me to attend and to present a seminar. And it was through that relationship that this happened. And when they invited me to do this event, I thought to myself, well, what are you going to serve your buyers first thing in the morning? And the lovely Miss Sarah Joy, who introduced Susan, said, well, we're not sure yet. We haven't gotten that far. And I said, well, let's call Sprinkles and see if they'd be interested in participating. After all, the head of marketing for Sprinkles worked for me just out of high school over 10 years ago. I was her very first job. And I have a great relationship with them, and I built a relationship over time. And basically it took a telephone call on my way somewhere on my speakerphone in my car, and I just said, do you think you could send over 100 or so cupcakes on Monday morning, September 29th for this wonderful seminar they're putting on at the mart? And the answer was, sure, why not? And these types of things occur so naturally and so organically because of the relationships that we build. And that's the beautiful thing about retail. And one thing that I miss about retail, and that was, so many customers came through my door, and it was such a great opportunity for me to get to know them. In bridal, because it's specialty, and it's not just a, well, let me put it this way. In Beverly Hills, it wasn't a one-time purchase. I had several repeat customers. But aside from that, when they did come in and they were planning for their wedding, they had to come in several times over a period of time. And it gave me an opportunity to get to know people. And those relationships that I built have really pivoted me to have international opportunities and to be able to speak to groups that are interested in making their businesses better. And all of us obviously are good business people, and we're obviously talented enough to be able to run our businesses, but we're also humble enough to know that we can always learn. And I'm like first in line for that. So it's for that reason that I'm so appreciative of being here this morning.